Hello Nigeria, welcome to Newsline. We love you for joining us. Thank you so much. I am Becky Madujemo. Tonight, among many issues we plan to report on is transforming waste to wealth, and it deserves another reminder. You will be surprised when you discover how valuable your trash can be. The events are coming to a couple of weddings, birthday parties, and official gatherings all make our diary session very entertaining. But before we unveil these and others, let's watch the news. First, Claire Adelabu Abdurazak is standing by for that. Happy Sunday, Claire.
Thank you, Becky. And we begin from Niamey, where Nigeria has formally signed the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. President Muhammadu Buhari performed the landmark ceremony at the opening of this year's extraordinary session of the African Union in the Nigerian capital. Sida's correspondent to the Mosambo was there.
It was a standing ovation for Nigeria and indeed a joyous moment of remarkable significance for African leaders as President Muhammadu Buhari puts pen to paper to formally enlist Africa's most populous country and largest economy into the Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. This, without doubt, is a major breakthrough for the African Union, which sees Nigeria as not only critical but indispensable if the objectives of the African Continental Free Trade Area are to be achieved. With President Buhari's signature, 54 out of the 55 member states of the African Union have now signed the agreement, out of which 27 already deposited their instruments of ratification. When fully operational, AfCFTA will be the world's largest free trade area with a potential market of 1.2 billion people and a gross domestic product of $2.5 trillion across member states of the African Union. At the extraordinary session on the African Continental Free Trade Area, speakers including the chairman of the African Union, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations and the Director General of the World Trade Organization appreciated Nigeria for signing the agreement, describing it as a worthwhile undertaking. This, they say, demonstrates the common will of African countries to work together towards achieving the vision of the African Union's Agenda 2063, the Africa we want.
We deserve to congratulate ourselves on these major achievements that has been made possible thanks to the African nations' will and their faith in the vision of the founding fathers.
Africans should take particular pride in reaching this agreement at a time of growing protectionism and rising trade tensions that threaten economic stability and progress around the world.
This is an event that gives hope to the African people who want to construct a prosperous Africa.
Our research and experience has shown that the successful implementation of the CFTA will create synergies and transform Africa into one of the GVC factories like we already have in Asia, Europe and North America.
The African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement came into force in May 2019 and expected to start trading in July 2020, before which some critical preparatory activities are to be undertaken, including effective sensitization of the state parties. From Niamey, the Republic of Niger, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
And Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari is also in Niamey, attending the 23rd session of the General Assembly of the Organization of the African First Ladies for Development. The First Lady joins her counterparts from the continent at a session of the Steering Committee where they will adopt resolutions towards achieving its core objectives. State House correspondent Aliyu Kabir reports that the event is holding at the sidelines of the African Union Summit in Niamey.
Since the adoption of the new name of the African First Ladies platform from the Organization of the African First Ladies on HIV and AIDS, OFLA, to the current name, the Organization of the African First Ladies for Development, OFLAD, encapsulating all development strategies during the 22nd session of the Assembly in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia in 2018, Members are meeting for the first time in Niamey, Niger Republic, currently at the 23rd General Assembly of AfCFTA. Their motive is to design a plan of action towards the promotion of the general well-being of the African women, youth and children. The meeting of the steering committee of the General Assembly of AfCFTA, to go in by the new acronym of the organization, held behind closed doors, is expected to deliberate on issues concerning the development of women, youth and children in Africa towards complementing the effort of African leaders for rapid development of the continent. Nigeria's First Lady Aisha Muhammadu Buhari led a delegation to that regard, considering the importance of Nigeria within the continent of Africa.
This is very important. The closed-door meeting, as you are all aware, is to enable the African First Lady to take crucial decisions on issues, on how they can move on and make recommendations.
This program will go a long way in helping the health sector in Nigeria as a whole and also Borno State.
The meeting will also look at other issues for adoption, comprising the resolution towards the promotion of gender equality and women empowerment, deliberated at the margins of the 74th United Nations General Assembly in New York. The AfCFTA General Assembly is expected to hold tomorrow, the 8th of July, 2019. In Niamey, Niger Republic, Aliou Kabir, NTA.
And we turn attention now to Sierra Leone, where the common saying that there is unity in diversity is resonating with Nigerians in the diaspora as they continue to build stronger bilateral relations with their host countries. The inauguration of the 2019-2022 Executive Council of Nigerians in Diaspora Organization, NIDO, Sierra Leone chapter in Freetown, is expected to build bridges of cordial relationship between Nigeria and Sierra Leone. Correspondent Ruth Aguele was there.
Looking at these faces, one can hardly tell the difference who is a Nigerian and who is a Sierra Leonean. A clear demonstration of the bond between Nigeria and Sierra Leone, who have all gathered to witness this historic and unique moment. For the first time, Nigerians in Diaspora Organization NIDO has been inaugurated to promote socio-cultural and economic development, reposition the Nigerian brand and explore new opportunities for both countries. These new executive members are saddled with the responsibility to steer the ship of NIDO for a prosperous future. The president of Sierra Leone, retired Brigadier Julius Maada Bio, who was represented by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Nabila Tunis, assured Nigerians of the full support of Sierra Leone government to strengthen the cooperation between both countries.
As we tend to structure that relationship, and on behalf of my president and government, I would assure you that the continued support that you're looking for will certainly be provided.
And one of the reasons why we have the Diaspora Commission is this: how do we work together, Nigerians at home and Nigerians in the diaspora, with consistency, good leadership, I believe, and with the support of you all, will together build a country of our dreams.
It is really a challenge and call to service, to serve the people, to give back to the society.
The chambers of commerce, I have staged a committee of Nigerians residents here to come up with an idea of having a stand in the chambers of commerce and industry of this very country.
NIDO was formed in 2001 and has since then continued to grow stronger. From Freetown, Ruth Aguela, NTA News.
Interesting. And back home, outgoing Group Managing Director of the Nigeria National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, Dr. Mekante Baro, says President Muhammadu Buhari remains committed to the growth of the nation's hydrocarbon reserves through the exploration of the inland oil basins in the country. A statement by the Group General Manager, Public Affairs of the NNPC, Ndo Uhamado, indicated that Dr. Baro made the assertion while inspecting ongoing drilling operations in Bauchi, Gombe State, in company of its successor, Malam Mele Kyari. The GMD expressed conviction that under the leadership of the incoming GMD, the NNPC would soon discover new hydrocarbon reserves to shore up the nation's economic base. And to strengthen the anchor borrowers initiative of the federal government, the Northeast Commodity Association has procured 600 tractors for farmers in the region for positive output in agriculture production. Yusuf Jika reports that the tractors were inaugurated in Yola, Adamawa State Capital.
The Northeast Commodity Association is saddled with the mandate of implementing the federal government's Anchor Borrower scheme, is without doubt championing the cause of enhanced agricultural activities that will make the nation self-sufficient in food production. 600 tractors have been procured and inaugurated by the association to service farmers in the Northeast region for improved food production and security. National Chairman Northeast Commodity Association, Sadiq Dawari, says NECAS is not only committed to uplifting the cause of smallholder farmers, but to transform the nation's economy in line with the government's policy on agriculture.
We are providing farmers with certified seed, quality fertilizer, good herbicide, and we provide services for optimum yield.
Governor Amadou Umaru Fintri of Adamawa State promised to partner the association to improve the loads of farmers. He expressed government determination to make agri sector full-blown economic venture. Speakers applauded federal government and NECAS for the feat. In Yola, Yusuf Jika, NTN News.
And as part of ongoing reform of prison facilities, 37 inmates have been granted freedom in Anambra and Enugu states by the Presidential Committee on Prisons Reforms and Decongestion on a visit to the southeast. This brings to more than 4,000 the number of inmates released by the committee from 16 states. Here is Timothy Yusuf with the report.
I have learned to live in peace with everybody. I promise I will not engage in fight again. And I thank the government for this initiative.
From lessons learned behind bars to appreciation to the government, 85-year-old Ignatius Ononiwu is among the 37 inmates that have gained their freedom from various prisons across Anambra and Enugu states. 10 are those serving on minor offences, with option of fines which were paid by the state government.
For justice delivery to be vibrant in our nation, it must be driven in line with the rule of law.
27 were released on the grounds of health and old age, like Mr. Ononiwu, who suffers seizure. Majority of those with mental illness were not granted freedom, as there were no relatives that would take care of them. The committee therefore feels that they are vulnerable and ordered that they should be taken to medical facility for proper medication. Despite payment of fines, only 7 of the inmates were released in Anambra State, as the crime committed include child stealing and drugs-related offences to serve as deterrent.
It is our belief that the psychic of the public will be seriously injured by releasing such people.
The committee also ordered State Department of Public Prosecution to liaise with chief judges of the states to review files of those that spent 5 years and above without taking to courts, release those without cases, while some cases were reassigned to higher courts. It was a double celebration for Ignatius and others who were freed, as they were also given cash donations ranging from 10,000 naira to 50,000 naira from the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and other NGOs to enable them integrate into the society.
That was a report by Timothy Yusuf there. And the Controller General of Nigeria Immigration Service, Muhammad Babandide, has vowed not to spare individuals or groups involved in passport-related offences. The warning came in the wake of the prosecution of a senior protocol officer in the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing, Maikudi Haruna, who was allegedly involved in the forgery of documents meant for the procurement of Nigerian passport. A statement signed by the Nigeria Immigration Service Public Relations Officer, DCI Sunday James, says Maikudi conspired by forging official identity card and signature of the Minister of of the Minister of the Ministry of Power, Works and Housing on a letter issued to one Abubakar Mustafa Bida to procure official passport and thereby collecting 250,000 naira as proceeds. The statement further stated that Haruna Mekudi was subsequently charged with conspiracy in making false statement for the purpose of procuring Nigerian passport and engaging in forgery at the Federal High Court, Abuja. The Controller General of Nigeria Immigration Service advises prospective applicants seeking the Nigerian passport to avoid false declarations, forgery, and use of fake breeder documents, but to follow due process. He notes that both the procurer and the applicant will be prosecuted in accordance with the provisions of the law related to passport offences. And the Air Task Force of Operation Lafia Dole has destroyed more terrorist structures and killing some Islamic State of West Africa province fighters at Bakassi and the fringes of Lake Chad in Borno State. In a statement by NAV Director Public Relations and Information, Air Commodore Bikule Daramola, this happened in an air strike conducted on July the 6th, 2019, as a follow-up to the air raids conducted at the same location on June 28, 2019. After intelligence reports indicated the terrorist elements, having suffered heavy casualties during the attack, had relocated surviving fighters and logistic supplies to another part of the settlement, as confirmed by intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance missions. The ATF therefore dispatched 2 Alpha jets to attack the location with accurate hits on the identified structures which were seen. The ATF therefore dispatched the 2 Alpha jets to the attack location with accurate hits, which were seen engulfed in flames. Several terrorists were also neutralized as a result of the strike. And the Corps Marshal, Federal Road Safety Corps, Dr. Boboyo Yemi, says without the financial support of President Muhammadu Buhari to fast-track the development of the FRSC UDI Academy in the last 4 years, training of FRSC cadets for the 2019 Basic Officers course would have been an illusion. Corps Marshal also stated that some projects are ready for inauguration. Comfort Ayim has the rest of the story.
A rousing reception greeted the FRSC boss, Dr. Boboye Oyeyemi, on arrival at the FRSC Academy UDI, Enugu State, venue of the regimental dinner, which set the tune for the evening event. The cadets, about 753 in number, drawn from the 36 states of the Federation, were on hand to wine and dine with the officers and men of rank and file. Corps Marshal Oyeyemi says the ceremony is an integral part of military and paramilitary tradition observed as part of every structured training program for officers.
It's been a wonderful experience within the last 4 years with Mr. President's support by prompt release of funds, and at least you yourself can see a lot of things, and projects are waiting commissioning, and this signals the further improvement in developing the capacity. We have accommodation now for about 800 officers, so that means we can train a lot of officers and short courses.
The Commandant, Edward Zambi, in his remarks, expressed joy over the successful completion of the 6-month course. What the Commission tagged unveiling of colors, among other significant features, added color to the regimental dinner as the Corps Marshal conducted the band. In Udi, Enugu State, Comfort Ayim, NTA News.
And political associates, human rights activists, friends and family members of the late Chief MKO Abiola converged on his compound for a symbolic 21st memorial ceremony. Ruth Ario Samuel reports that the ideal of the acclaimed late winner of June 12, 1993 election stood for resonated at the brief ceremony.
Leading the solemn walk, Professor Wale Soyinka, while commending the federal government for immortalizing late MKO Abiola, emphasized the need to unite all Nigerians, irrespective of religion, creed, or tribe, one of the principles he stood for.
The truth is imperishable. It only takes some time, a long while, to really quarry our way to the core of that essence that, for me, dignifies humanity.
Convener and President, Women Arise and Center for Change, Dr. Joe Oki Odumake, said MKO displayed courage in keeping the mandates given him by the people.
Government must be more responsive and responsible and fulfill its constitutional obligation by ensuring that we end poverty in the land.
Taking an excerpt from the June 12 presidential manifesto, Abiola's sons urged Nigerians to move forward, as that is what MKO believed in.
The only thing constructive I can do based on the realities of today is try to introduce the people to the Hope 93 manifesto. This basically states all my father's intentions for the people of the country.
Chief MKO Abiola, winner of June 12 elections, died on the 7th of July, 1998. In Lagos, Ruth Ario Samuel, NTA News.
And let's talk a bit of sports now. And President of the Senate, Ahmed Lawan, has felicitated with Nigeria Super Eagles for beating the indomitable Lions of Cameroon 3-2 in the ongoing 2019 African Cup of Nations in Egypt. Lawan said the victory, which advanced Nigeria to quarterfinals of the tournament, was well-deserved considering the high skills and dexterity exhibited by the Super Eagles. In a statement by his special assistant on media and publicity, Mohamed Issa, Lawan observed that coming behind to beat Cameroon reinforced what the Nigerian national team is known for, the ability to persevere. Lawan said victory could never have come at a better time than now that Nigeria is desperately looking for a unifying act. And let's bring you the AFCON highlights proper now. Madagascar upset Democratic Republic of Congo in penalty shootout to book quarterfinal spot. And Algeria eases past Guinea in a 3-0 dominating fashion. Daniel Adiri brings us all